Welcome, 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 welcome. Hi, everyone. I am Stacey, and welcome to Somatic Sunday. This is Calm Mom Conversations, where busy moms learn calm in real life. Each Sunday, I come on live and we practice simple body based techniques that help our nervous system reset so you don't have to keep pushing through overwhelm. And we've been talking a lot about that this week. And so today I'm going to guide you through short somatic practices that you can use in real life moments when your mind is racing and your body feels tense. There's no perfection required, there is no equipment needed, there's no special setup. You just have to give yourself a few minutes to come back home to yourself. So, wherever you are, take a breath and let's begin. So, this week I have shared a lot of different tips in regards to how do we, um, stop some of this overwhelmed feelings that we have. I've talked about taking that pause, before you interact with someone. So, if someone has a question for you, especially our kids, taking that breath before we answer, taking that breath before we say yes to another obligation. Someone asks you to do something, or someone asks you to do a favor, or someone maybe says, hey, can you want to meet for dinner this week? And you just know that you just don't have the energy. And so taking that pause before you say yes. We've talked about, things that we can do to find our joy. Put in the comments what you have done this weekend to find joy. What have you done? I went to a ladies' brunch. It was a karaoke brunch. It was so fun. It was 90s theme. So all the songs were in the 90s, which is, where, I was a young adult in the 90s. And so it was really fun. It was with a friend. I got to meet some new friends and we had a really good time. So put in the comments what you have done this weekend. Oh, that's so fun, Mary, that you went with some family to an event. That is super fun. Oh, a craft fair. Nice. Yes. So finding that joy was another thing that we had talked about. That pause, the joy. What else did we talk about this week? Uh, it's slipping my mind what else I taught you this week in some of the shorts. But you also want to go back to, the past uh, lives, because each of the lives have two new techniques that I have been sharing that help you find that calm. I know maybe it's the weekend, and we always think all week we think, oh, I just need to get to the weekend. I just need to get to the weekend. I'll be fine then. And then our weekend ends up being packed. Or you do the things that moms usually do: clean the house, go grocery shopping, do laundry. I know that that's one of the things that I did today. I've cleaned the house, I've done laundry. And so now maybe the rest of the family is off watching TV or doing something, and you want to take a couple minutes to yourself before you start, the evening, maybe cooking dinner. So we're going to take this time. Yes, Julie, taking a few moments out of your day is not selfish at all. It is something that you need. And so many moms come to me when they're feeling overwhelmed and they tell me they do not have time for self-care. And I ask them, are you looking at self-care as something like a big event, like getting hair done, getting a massage, getting our nails done? Those are all great, self-care techniques but they're long term. They're something we have to maybe plan for. They also cost us money. It also costs us to go somewhere. So a lot of the techniques that I'm teaching you is something you can do right in the moment or with very minimal planning. So if you are working out of the home, you can do them in your office before you go into a stressful meeting. Maybe you can do it in the car while you wait for the kids for pickup. Maybe you are an older mom like myself and your kids are out of the home. You find pockets of your time. We always think that we have more time when our kids are grown. And I may have a little bit more time, to do things that I enjoy doing. That is for sure. But we still have obligations like house and grocery shopping and paying bills and working. So these techniques are things that you can do right in the moment. So let's again, I remember I am also not only am I a coach, but I am a therapist. I've been a therapist for 25 years. So I bring techniques that I know are helpful. And this is coming from, somatic therapy exercise cards. So you probably cannot buy these anywhere because they were designed, they were in a therapy training that I took. So we're going to pick our two cards. Where's the magic cards for today? And the other thing that I wanted to mention today, and it wasn't in the somatic technique box, but and maybe we'll do that first, and then we'll just do one more of the cards instead of two cards today. So one thing that I wanted to mention is a lot of women that come to me when we start to, work on what is overwhelming them. There's a lot of thoughts too that we work on, because there's a lot of beliefs that we have set in our system, ingrained in us. And that also creates that overwhelmed feeling because those messages get played throughout our day and we sometimes don't even realize it. And then our actions or the way we have been behaving is based on that message. But also there are times that we have things that happen in our life that we can't control. And so we hold on to feelings, and I do a lot of work in regards to emotional regulation as well as nervous system regulation and learning how to manage all the different emotions that we can experience in one day. But I wanted to talk about that process of letting go, and that can be, a visual that we can, I want you to imagine that you are walking on a sandy beach. Feel that sand underneath you. What does it feel like? Is it warm? Is it cooler? Is it rocky? Like, is there a lot of broken up shells? How does that feel? Then I want you to take your towel or your blanket and set it down. And I want you to take a seat. And I want you to take in one deep breath in and then sigh it out. And I want you to think about one thing that you have been struggling with lately. And I want you to visualize what it would be if we let that go, because maybe there's a lot of things that you can't control with that one thing. So I want you to pick up the sand that's on the either side of you, put it in your hands, hold it tight. You want to hold it really tight right now. But still feel that warm sand on your feet because your feet are still in the sand. Sun is on your shoulders. You can hear the water breaking at the shoreline. You can maybe hear seagulls in the distance. So feel all that for a moment. And then I want you to, again, put that vision of what you're struggling with lately. And now you're going to open up your fingers. And you're going to let that sand sift right through your fingers. And as you do that, I want you to envision whatever you've been struggling with being released, just like that sand that is being released. Once all the sand is out of your hands, I want you to brush it off, get all that sand off. And then you're going to take another deep breath in and release. And you can open your eyes. So that is a visualization, but we add in that piece of letting go, because I know that there's so many things that are going on that a lot of moms are holding on to. I hear a lot about, the country and our, what's happening around us. And there's so many things that are happening that we just can't control. And so we can, watch something online, have some feelings about it, and then we kind of walk around all day with some of that stuff. And this is just a way to help you let go. So, thank you, Julie. Yes, I'd love that visualization. You can put any kind of worry that you have, maybe a conflict that you're having with someone else, and you can put it as that visual of letting go. Yes, you're welcome. So the next one we're going to do is that somatic technique that I've been talking about. And this is sighing breath. Sighing breath technique is designed to provide a rapid and effective approach by easing tension and stress. So by integrating a deep breath with robust sighs, individuals, you can effectively unwind and dispel, accumulated stress. And it is advisable to adjust to pace and intensity of the technique to suit your personal comfort level. Listen to your body before you listen to me. So stand up or sit with a good posture, keeping your spine straight and shoulders relaxed. Inhale deeply through your nose, focusing on filling your lungs with air. And allow your stomach to move outward as your diaphragm expands. And exhale slowly and audibly through your mouth, releasing the air with sighing sound. So breathing in and then you should be able to hear your breath and that sigh. Imagine letting go of any tension or stress with each sigh. So this is very similar to our letting go. You can incorporate this breath as well as that visual, because since we're talking about letting go, and concentrate on the sensation of that breath filling your lungs and then the release of air during the audible sigh. Be mindful of the breath, be mindful of from the, and when we use mindfulness, we get more present. So you're concentrating or you pay attention to the entrance of that breath through your nose. And then through the release of your mouth, you are paying attention to that breath. You are, you can feel your stomach rising. You can feel your lungs filling up with air. And repeat this sequence several times, ensuring each breath is intentional and accompanied by a sigh. And allow that rhythmic breathing and sighing to bring a sense of relaxation to your body and mind. Visualize that breath and sigh, carrying away any stress or tension you've held in your body. Okay, so that is our techniques for the week. And again, you can use that breath along with that visualization of letting go, and that could very well help you. So we're going to end with that one big deep breath and sigh it out. Thank you for joining me for Somatic Sundays, and make sure that you subscribe to Calm Mom Conversations so that you can, get notified when I am going live, and you can be a part of it, just like some of the women were today. I love to have that engagement, so I'd love for you to join us anytime that I go live. And in the description is a link to my coffee chat, and that you can book anytime. there's no obligation. You can book that and, ask me, some questions. We can talk about, what's overwhelming you. Also in there is a description. In the description is my calm and focus breakthrough kit. Sorry, my dog was making a noise behind me and I wanted to make sure he was okay. And then also, the other thing that I talked about this past week was a system that I have put in place that helps me feel more calm. And because of the revenue that it brings into my house, because, money is a huge stressor for a lot of families. And so this allows me not to have that stress and that worry, this other system. And that link is in the descriptions as well. So, again, thank you for joining us. And we will see you next week on Calm Mom Conversations for Somatic Sunday.